So I think that there might still be some interesting synergy there for Escape, but of course it will be a bit unnatural maybe for some of the other players to play with Trixie, as they haven't done so as much in the past.
Yes.
But I feel like Trixie is a person who can get along quite well with most people, so...
He's quite a lovable guy as well.
He
He's a big jolly giant, you know. He's just this humongous guy that's just always super happy.
Truly humongous.
Truly humongous.
I would like to take some time to extend a thank you to all of our viewers for staying with us here at DreamLeague in our final day.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being part of our community.
And don't forget to vote.
Don't forget to vote.
And thank you for your wonderful ideas and enhancing the stream and making it more professional.
Yes.
This is, this is what it's about. This is what this profession is. It's not a game.
It's not a game, it's all serious, and it's all about the Dota 2 that is about to be played between Imperial and Escape Gaming. We already have the Warlock banned out, hero that Escape has liked on Synderen particularly, and also a Drove Ranger, and as we talked about, the contested Bat Rider banned out by Escape Gaming. So both teams picking up a support first, and it is already the Shadow Demon Luna combination that Escape goes
I'm very
for.
happy to see this. This is standard stuff that we know. SD Luna, we've seen it played for now, what is it, several months already.
Yes.
So we know what to expect.
I hope it continues.
I'm happy with that.
Forever.
Yeah, Ogre also another frequent pick. So, and then the classic Outwill Devour combined with the Bloodlust from the Ogre Magi. Good at clearing out the illusions. We certainly know what we're getting here, and we're thankful for that.
Yeah, very happy that we know what is coming. Also, the teams now have a very long period, 3 picks, 2 bans, to already know what's coming and prepare for what they know will be coming their way as well, such as perhaps a mid lane with an OD, with a Ogre Magi around there as well to harass. How would you deal with an OD Ogre mid lane if you are Escape Gaming?
You don't?
You don't?
You just, no, you don't? No, I mean, Imperial would pick a sniper versus it, but we're not sure if Escape wants to go on that route, because I don't think Koikfa's actually gone for it.
No, not that much. We've seen him play Shadow Fiend, I believe, and also he likes the Invoker, but we see here the Invoker ban out from Imperial there on Koikfa's Invoker there.
Yes.
One way of dealing with the OD mid, the pressure, is to pressure the other lanes.
Yes.
So that you alleviate pressure from the mid lane by forcing the Ogre to rotate to another lane, because you're pressuring it. They have the Shadow Demon Luna. They could potentially go aggressive tri-lane, as it is a very strong lane. You have the Lunar Blessing on 2 range heroes already, and throw in the 3rd hero there and push a tower quite fast with Yara.
Maybe Synderen's Dazzle, that's a Shadow Demon Dazzle tri-lane is something we used to see in the past quite a lot, and Escape does love it.
Not on the question.
I'm quite happy though to see Escape pick up the Luna, because like I was kind of saying, is that they have been, I feel like they've been struggling a bit on it. Era's been having some rough games on it, so it's good that they're already guaranteed it to the finals here. So this is nice that they're working on their strategy, especially.
And there is that Rubik.
The Rubik.
So now that we have the 2 supports in the core, is this, you think, going to be that aggressive laning, the aggressive lane that you talked about?
Well, it depends on what kind of mid hero they're going to pick up. If it is a more greedy hero, then I wouldn't be entirely surprised if they do decide to go aggressive tri-lane. Or at least a strong offensive dual lane where they can pressure the safe lane so that they can free up that space, because we know that OD can be quite tricky to lane against.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Escape pick up in their 4th pick and what kind of a mid hero they're going for.
I've really liked the Rubik pickup though. Of course, you don't have the greatest steals from the Ogre. Sure, if you get the Bloodlust and stuff, it's nice, but the other ones aren't, that big flashy stuff. But the OD, the 2 spells you can steal from him are quite imbalanced, I would say.
Yeah, truly
quite strong indeed. Okay, well, the Imperial is thinking about what they will pick up next. With their first 2 pickups, they haven't done anything out of the ordinary. What do you reckon is going to be their strategy to complement the OD and the Ogre?
Well, they do have the Bloodlust, so I would assume that they would pick one of the other cores that benefits from it, maybe a Void or a Juggernaut, something along
Void
these
comes
lines.
to mind, yes. One of those heroes that goes well together with the Ogre Magi. Also a quite potent dual lane in the off lane. With those 2 heroes, Bloodlust early on the Faceless Void, you can easily just go and attack the supports.
Yes.
I speak for the team.
And they make it, wow,
Prophet.
that is
Our
quite a...
commentators are not going to be happy.
No.
Luckily, though, we have seen this once before. From the Imperial, I believe, as well.
It is a hero that does benefit from the Bloodlust, and
Yes.
also, you know, it gives them that general pushing power that some teams have been lacking. We did see at Finham not really pick many pushing heroes yesterday. This one at least gives them that split up around the map, as well as being able to really mess with the supports in the early game as well. So that's a very interesting pickup.
I would like to ask here, Shiver, because seeing as you are good friends with Admiral Bulldog, you should know quite a few things about this Nature's Prophet.
Of
What can you
course.
tell us about this?
Well, I believe this specific Nature's Prophet is going to be one that will be very active. Knowing Imperial, they'll not play it the same way as Admiral Bulldog would have done. They'll make sure that that Nature's Prophet is everywhere there's a fight. Even if it's just to take the last hit on the kill, he'll be there to make it happen. He'll be there to help out. And I believe he will be very mobile across the map. And it will not be your stereotypical split-pushing Nature's Prophet, as you will. That is the one that Admiral Bulldog would have liked to go for, but I don't think that would fit in Imperial's lineup, and I think Bulldog would agree with me on that as well.
All right.
I do like the Furion pick as well versus the Luna. Of course, if you spawn your Treants, it's things to soak up the ultimate from that throughout all the stages of the game. So it's an interesting approach that they're going for that also, you know, benefits for Bloodlust and progresses into the later stages of the game. And Escape go for this this quick Clockwork pickup, which is something we're kind of seeing come back into the meta, I feel, more so than ever, and it's extremely potent versus the Furion while he's split pushing, of course.
The one thing that we did talk about previously was the item that you brought up, the Hurricane Pike,
Yes.
is one of the counters to this hero Clockwork. That has maybe is one of the main reasons why we don't see the hero as much.
Yes.
Because there are plenty of heroes that can get this item, such as both Outworld Devourer and Nature's Prophet can get the item.
Absolutely.
Do you think we're going to see that come into play here?
I do believe so, absolutely. I think both heroes will probably see them get it quite early, so it's going to be quite a difficult Clockwork game for sure, just based off this small analysis.
10 seconds remaining.
Lion pickup now for Imperial as well. A lot of disable in that one hero. And one of the heroes that we pointed out earlier was a hero that Hillary would be playing if
Yes.
she had the choice.
And it gives them, you know, more ways to instantly clear illusions.
Yes.
It seems like they're, you know, the OD as well is obviously very good versus illusions, but Lion's able to, you know, manage her in and hex one and just get rid of them instantly. So they are going for that, as well as just some stable lane support, because the Ogre is going to be, you know, doing Ogre things, kind of walking around, benefiting all the lanes that he feels necessary.
Yeah, that's true.
5 seconds remaining.
So Imperial have their staple Centaur banned out against them. So they need one more hero. They need an ace hero. Ace plays, of course, the carry position for the Imperial.
10
Well, which
seconds
core
remaining.
heroes would you feel? You already mentioned Juggernaut, and Juggernaut is still in the pool. Any others that you would see fit in this Imperial lineup? You mentioned Faceless Void as well. Are both still an option here?
I think
the-
potentially Faceless Void could still work.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to Juggernaut either. Faceless Void, they have 3 their range heroes,
10 seconds remaining.
so they could sort of make use of the Chronosphere. The other heroes hitting, of course, Lion is not a big hitter, but nonetheless, the Outworld Devourer and Furion can hit the enemy heroes inside the Chronosphere,
Yes.
and Faceless Void also benefits from the Bloodlust.
Phantom Assassin.
And
Phantom Assassin.
Okay, interesting. That is a very good versus the Rubik, of course. You know, able to. It's just very annoying. You don't really get anything great to steal. You can always hop out of the cogs as well. You don't have to worry about getting hooked and being stuck. So now
Jump into the Sprout.
jump into the Sprout as well. They have, you know, like we mentioned, the 2 Hurricane Bike builders and the PA who can kind of jump out. So now they're really focusing on not having this Clockwork.
I just have to ask though.
nuisance.
Previously, we were talking about Trump and Hillary here, and you were
Yes.
talking about, you mentioned Earthshaker. Do you think that Trump would be an exceptional Nature's Prophet player,
Reserved
as he
time.
can, you know, sort of? I picture the Sprout being some sort of a wall that can lock the enemies inside of it.
Also, cogs might actually be quite relevant as well
Yes.
for Trump. Yes,
Yes,
So that's definitely a possibility. Yeah.
I would imagine so. Clockwork versus Lion. Trump versus Hillary. There you
Interesting.
go. Interesting
Seems like
analogy here, yeah.
It seems like the teams are respecting the election
Yeah.
as well.
I mean, it is a serious day for serious competitions, not just in Dota 2, but also for
Elsewhere in the world.
vote elsewhere
Of
in the
course,
world, yes.
it sort of feels though as if compared to the Dota 2 action, the other things do not seem as important.
True.
One
Very
would have
true.
to make that statement.
Yes.
Very true. So Escape Gaming, their last pick here, needing a hero for Quickfire. We already had the Tinker banned out. Razor is still in the pool if they want to have something against the OD, but which other heroes against OD would you like to see? Escape has also run the Lone Druid in the past.
I think Razor sounds pretty good as well.
Razor is quite good. They have a lot of target spells, and
It's
going to be a Dragon Knight.
It's going to be a bit of a little hard of a lane. Maybe they're going to focus on roaming around early on and making movements for this Dragon Knight, but it gives them that kind of push lineup. You know, the Dragon Knight, the Luna. They have this very timing-based lineup that works very well.
He also doesn't have to care that much about the Stifling Daggers from the PA.
Yes.
He has a lot of armor.
Okay, so I think this game is in the hands of the Imperial. What do you reckon, Fog?
I'm gonna have to agree with you as well. I like I like the Furion pickup, and I like just in general what they have. They have very good like building hitters just coming from the Furion and good team fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my initial 4-0 Imperial today until proven wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that are our predictions. Now it is over to our commentators to hear what they have to say about this match. Imperial versus Escape Gaming with OD Pixel and Gods.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first game of the first series of the day here at the ASUS ROG DreamLeague. We've got, of course, the boys in Escape Gaming up against Imperial, and the game has begun, so let's hit ourselves into it. I'm OD Pixel, I'm here with Gods, and yeah, what do you think about the draws here? We're seeing another game where the clock's coming out, and it's not going to be the Yap clock, it is going to be the Trixie clock for the side of Escape Gaming, and Imperial drafting heroes such as the Hester Joe Nature's Prophet. I mean, Hester Joe, we've seen how good he is on a bat. I'm looking forward to seeing how good he is on a Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, they had the one game with the Drow Enchantress strat where they ran a really good Nature's Prophet game. This time it's not with a Drow, it's not with an Enchantress. It's going to be a little bit less aggressive in the laning stage, but I mean, he can make his own plays happen regardless.
I remember the game now. He had like a ridiculous game on it, didn't he?
They just stomped the hell out of one of the top teams. And
it's against Abfinimus. The stat said, that was a disgusting game, actually. He was... Yeah, it was good.
It's a very different draft, though, when you're not playing with the Drow Aura, when you're not playing with the Enchantress roaming around, but you've still got aggressive potential. PA is a great setup with the Stifling Dagger Blink Strike. You can start diving towers very early on with PA. OD, not the best diving potential. Ogre, very good at diving towers if he wants to. He's nice and tanky. Can slow heroes down with the Ignite, can Bloodlust the Nature's Prophet, so... Kind of similar concept, just slightly less aggression is what I'm seeing. For Escape, it's very standard. You've got your pushing 5-man SD Luna with a Dragon Knight in the mid lane. Like, there's nothing much really to be said outside of that. The Clockwork, the one little bit of a different pick, I guess.
Down bottom, Hester Joe, so of course some annoyance down at the bottom room, but
they killed two of those treants,
I was going to say, end up giving a bit of a free farm. So one's the Rubik, one's the Luna. As Escape Gaming hit off to a good start there. But you're talking about the lanes. I mean, so this mid lane, are we going to see a lot of support rotations? Is Odie going to be left on his own?
Odie doesn't need much help. It's probably the DK who more needs the help. We'll see some early harass coming in, but realistically, Baby Knight should do just fine, even in this 1v2 setup. It'll be a minor inconvenience more so than anything else.
And then this bottom lane at the moment, you've got not just the Nature's Prophet, but also the Ogre Magi hanging around. So Imperial running this kind of 2-1-2 lane formation. Is this going to be a super hard lane for the Luna? Well, how much is the pressure going to be on? Because it looks like it's already started, and it's not nice for Escape Gaming.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the really tough lane for Escape to do well, and the Tree and Harass is going to persist. Hestejo has used up all of his mana already, so that's kind of the one downside of losing those treants early on in the rune fight, meant that he doesn't have many more to kind of play around with, but with Noya down here on the Ogre Magi, this looks like a very good lane for Imperial.
And on the seat, up towards top. Trixie on the off-lane clock. A lot of eyes are going to be onto this man. Playing again. I don't think we're sure yet if it's necessarily going to be the full-time replacement. I mean, at the moment, still playing with a stand-in tag. But I'm sure Escape Gaming probably just trying out players at the moment. We've seen them, do one series the other day with Trixie in before. I can't remember quite what it was in, but they have
another tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, because the LAN finals coming up at the end of the month, so these teams will have to, of course, have a finalized roster by then, whether Escape will have Trixie coming along or someone else. We'll have to find out. And even Escape not just Escape, but Liquid as well. They're also potentially playing with a stand-in come the LAN finals. So interesting stuff. But for now here in this game, pretty slow start compared to the last time we saw this Nature's Prophet coming out, but very much the nature of Escape reacting, seeing the aggressive dual lane down bottom. They immediately rotate YapzOr down here. They've just started pulling and stacking the camps as possible.
I mean, we're sitting there just giving the right clicks to both Sind and Era. Really putting the pressure on, and as expected, up top lane, it's going much better for the safe lane of Imperial. Ace, 14 for 4. Up against Era's 8 for 1. And in the mid lane, it's very close, mind you, between both the OD and the DK.
Yep.
Very similar CS at the moment.
Yeah, early levels isn't too bad for DK. The lane gets harder as OD levels up, and just that tiny bit of Rubik help at level 1 made a big difference for the DK, just getting that early CS, which guarantees a good time on your bottle. Worst thing that can happen for a DK is you don't get any CS the first 2 or 3 waves, or you get very few, and then suddenly your lane gets screwed over. Clock will deny himself, just getting back to lane a bit faster with full HP for mana. Bottom lane, though, a bit of a tiff.
I mean, as we're seeing, Ares has to be so careful how close he comes, because he takes an insane amount of damage here. We're going to see him being brought very low. They'll look for a bit of a turnaround onto Neuer. Has a couple of stacks of the poison on him. He's got one more Fire Blast left in and will find Era. Hestejo coming to see if he can finish this one off, but at the end of the day, Hestejo's just going to feed his own life by the looks of it. He pops the stick charges. Actually, no, with the Treants, he can turn, he can fight, and he... Ooh, the stick charges from YapzOr keeps him alive. Era ends up getting the double kill. A very close altercation down the bottom lane for Escape Gaming. Meanwhile, top lane, they will lose Trixie. But at the end of the day, it's Era the one getting the double kill on the bottom lane.
Top lane, very tough for the Clockwork, but great play against the aggressive dual lane coming out from Escape.
Oh. Era.
Say that, then he hangs around a bit too long, gets greedy. It was such a good start for him too. They waited for the last second to go for the disruption to save him, and then they turned it around with the Lucent Beam usage. But unfortunately, they kind of give up a bit of that advantage. They got down bottom by just Era giving away his life as soon as the Nature's Prophet respawns and TPs in. So that's a bit costly. Now Hestejo has the phase boot. This is when Nature's Prophet gets very scary as far as being able to roam around and do some good right-click damage.
Mid lane, Neuer heading over. Let's see if he's able to do anything. I mean, YapzOr is incredibly low here in this mid lane, and YapzOr actually going in very aggressively. The pinks will come out. Neuer, he's just going to hold his position. Now we'll go forward. I mean, YapzOr playing with huge amounts of aggression in this mid lane, and he's almost certainly going to pay with his life. Indeed he does. He goes down. So yeah, I mean, he's hanging around, and it is just incredibly low there.
Yeah, he just completely didn't expect Ogre to be there. If Ogre's not there, if it's just no D, sure, it's fine. He's getting free, cheap harass him, but it was kind of greedy play coming out from YapzOr, more so than anything. He gets punished. Well positioned by the Ogre of Neuer, but it does feel like a bit of a freebie.
And as the lanes continue, top lane is still absolute free farm here for the PA. 36 for 11. We saw Trixie obviously at the start trying to do his best to slow down Ace, but it really hasn't taken a toll onto this PA's farm. He's going to be hitting 6 pretty soon, and at that stage it's going to be very scary for Trixie if he wishes to return to this lane. And at the moment just kind of dealing with the side camps. Still trying to find as much as he can in terms of XP. Yeah. But the lanes are getting harder.
He's gone back for the Iron Talon, so he has that backup base once the career is available, but it's a very slow start for him in the offlane. He's just not getting much at all. He's not getting any help, of course, but looking at this lane, it's a free farm PA, and he's probably thinking he should have gone jungle earlier.
He'll disrupt himself, but he is going to be a goner as Imperial pick another kill up from this bottom lane. I mean, this is just the power of this kind of Ogre Nature's Prophet. As you said, with the build, the Nature's Prophet this stage is going to be packing quite a punch. And again, Era tries to come in with a Lucent Beam, but a few taps, and then he brought down to half health. It's a scary lane for Era. He has to be careful how he hangs around it. Now, actually, maybe getting a chance for a bit of a turnaround. There'll be a disruption to set up, but they'll Fire Blast there and just turn and just right-click it with the Treants. You know, they're going to find the kill. Era may have been able to take down the Nature's Prophet, but you're losing your carry's life. They're looking for Neuer as well. They've rotated Quaker in. Neuer, he's out of mana. There's not really many ways he can play his way out of this one. All he can do is just kind of waste as much time as possible of Quaker. And with the Dragon Tail Stone and the Shadow Poison.
He may live.
Is he going to actually get out?
Yeah, the Treant blocks. Okay. He gets out. Ogre Magi.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Pretty good hero. They've actually called Trixie in the trees.
Oh, dear.
Oh, nice sprout.
This game has just turned... Oh, error!
Oh, that's...
Error?
You can't eclipse into treants. This is
Is
not
it?
going to work.
I mean, that TP was slightly questionable. It looks like he... No, he's not living. The dagger will do it.
Yeah, slightly
ace.
questionable is an understatement there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you kind of forget what it's like playing against Nature's Prophet sometimes.
Yeah,
and that's,
it seems that's the problem here for Escape Gaming. They're not prepared.
They're not respecting his just global
Yeah.
TP, and then even there, like Luna TPing in for an Eclipse is great if there's no summons, but Nature's Prophet just brings up 4 Treants, and you're not using an Eclipse effectively into 4 Treants. Chances are you get like 1 Lucent Beam of the Eclipse off on a hero at most.
Dire's bottom tower.
That's like the average expectation there with like a couple heroes around, but yeah, not a good TP at all from Era, and all of a sudden it's Imperial with a lot of momentum going their way. They've got some key levels. They've hit level 6 on Nature's Prophet now. Ogre's about to hit level 6. He's got his own ups and has some decent items, so...
Yeah, Era's got to find a way to pick up his game. I mean, just look at the net worth. He's really lagging behind. I mean, he's only a few hundred ahead of the Ogre on the side of Imperial.
That's a
And
huge
very
boost to
far
PA.
behind Ace.
PA with 4k net worth
Yeah.
off of a killing spree. A lot of farm in the hands of Ace.
And of course, PA, if she does get this kind of lead at the start, she can deal with a Luna very easily, as long as the Luna doesn't have Eclipse. Because the magical burst could cause issues. But if you're jumping in, if we see Ace getting a good timing on the Desolator, it's going to be dangerous. Interesting as well to look at Baby Knight in the mid lane. His build this game, 3 null tallies.
I've seen him go for a couple before. I want to say I've maybe seen the 3 null talisman even once before. He loves doing this. He does on Sniper where he gets 2 or 3 Wraith Bands sometimes. He always builds these cheap, cost-effective stat items. He ultimately has to replace them, so it's not... I say cost-effective, you actually lose out on some of that value when you sell them and then lose the money you invested, but he just sees them as items that will save him from a gank and pay for themselves despite having to sell them later on. Maybe even secure him an extra kill or something, so it's this just reliable early game presence that he can have off of this build.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, Hester Joe. Be interested to see what he just built this game. I believe it was the drums that he just went into last time where we saw him dominate on the Nature's Prophet, wasn't it? He kind of went phase drums. I can't remember what he went for.
Drums, Hurricane Pike, maybe?
Yes, you're right. It was the game where they all built Hurricane Pike.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they had a Drow Warlock and they had
Yeah.
a bunch of Hurricane Pikes, and it's coming back to us now. So, yeah, for now, saving up that money, I'm curious. I don't know if he just goes for anything different. The
I mean,
drums
Hurricane
build seems
Pike could
fine.
be totally legitimate against a clock game. You know what I
Yep.
mean? In terms of,
He may be thinking he should rush it before he gets the drums even because of the hook shot.
Koifert with the wraparound onto Hester Joe. I mean, Hester Joe, yeah, he can't get out of this one. Wasn't expecting the presence of the DK Escape Gaming coming in hard with 4. And we'll start to put the pressure down onto the tower. Ace is going to turn up to the fight. And he's got the Gladstone. Yeah,
He's
10 minutes
very
in.
hard to fight into. And with Nature's Prophet respawning, this is something Escape have to respect. That NP respawn isn't him respawning in Fountain, it's him respawning and able to TP anywhere on the map. He can backstab you, he can flank you, he can set up a lot of things for Imperial if they want to make a play.
At the same time, Imperial have to be a bit careful how they approach the fight against Era in the terms of the fact that Era does have the Eclipse online. But Hester Joe, he gets in deep, and he's looking to get the vision to allow Ace to jump in, and indeed he's found Yapsor, and that'll be a quick and easy kill here for the side of Imperial. Ace to pick up another.
Yep. The other thing with Baby Knight's triple null build, he's actually not got any points in the Astral Imprisonment. He's gone all in on the Arcane Orbanescence Aura.
Yeah, a bit of an ode to old times on the OD. I cannot remember the last time I saw a pro player do that build.
I've seen it against like Nyx Assassin and stuff, and with other matchups, like where you don't want to have the Astral so much. But yeah, it's interesting. Against melee heroes, of course, is when you want to do it because you're guaranteed to get that insta-steal off. And
I mean, I guess
bit
as
of an
well
old school build, but yeah.
With the item build and the skill build, it shows that he's more down to fight.
Yep.
Because Astral is such a great farming tool, and the fact that he's got no levels in that, and it's going to hurt his potential to just kind of sit back and farm. But in terms of fighting, building up the intel for the Sanity's Eclipse, this is obviously the optimal build.
Yeah, works better with the Bloodlust as well,
Yeah.
so we'll see. I mean, for now, it looks like he's maxing Ignite of the Bloodlust, which is fine. He may go back for like a 1-3-3 type build or something, but yeah, Baby Knight's looking to just make use of his fighting potential. The chase of their lineup with a PA and a Nature's Prophet is really solid as well, so Imperial will have plenty of options to take clashes with Escape. They are going to go into a mech on the Nature's Prophet, so no full stuff, no drums, straight into that teamfight item.
It's that's certainly kind of lending towards what we're expecting with this OD build. You know, they are getting the tools together to push as 5 and fight as 5.
Vipering up top. OD has a TP ready to join up with his team. There's 5 Escape heroes in this lane.
See how hard Escape want to go in. Trixie does have the hook shot, but it's a hard fight for Escape to jump on.
Yeah, they back off. Oh, Syndax, he's scattered by a Sprout, so he needs to be careful. He'll evacuate the lane as DK TP's mid, Luna TP's bottom. The 3 heroes at top cannot linger around, and if anything, this is signs for Imperial to take this top tier 1 tower. The TP's out means it's going to be somewhat undefended. At the same time, they're probably also not looking to give up their tier 1 mid, which is, well, it's really too late to stop that from happening.
Here we go, the push in up top, and indeed, as you said, the power's going to be there. Meanwhile, though, Quakeford does find the trade mid lane. Takes the tower himself. Has got 2.4k gold in the bank as well, so it'll be interesting to see what Quakeford goes for. I mean, what do you think he's thinking about at the moment with this money that he's got?
Shadowblade is probably the main item you're considering when you save up this much, just for that instant initiation. Force your opponent to start buying a lot of sentry wards and detection for you, and yeah, you're just a great initiator with some good follow-up from a Clockwork, from a Luna, so I'd be surprised if it's something else. I guess other options is like the Blink Dagger, but he's already had the money for it, hasn't bought the Blink Dagger. BKB Rush seems suboptimal. You don't necessarily want to get it too early against an OD. That's an item you want to get as like your 2nd, 3rd, 4th item. So yeah, I expect him to pick up that Shadowblade as soon as he can.
At the moment, coming into the jungle, Imperial, they have spotted out the DK. 2 of them, they're going to make a jump on him here. Initiating with the Hex as such, and with the Nature's Wrath, they nearly find it, but in comes the hookshot from Trixie, and now Error on the backlines with the Eclipse, looking for the turnaround. They managed to take down the line, but they have ended up losing Quakefer. It's a 1-for-1 at the moment, but certainly one that's going to favor the side of Imperial, and in fact, they may just find more with the chase down onto Trixie. Trixie out of mana, he's sprouted up, Hesticho and Noya surround him. They'll find themselves a 2nd. Imperial with 2-for-1 trade, a very good one as well, getting 2 cores, only losing a support.
Yeah, that was such a prime kill to get on the DK. The top farming Radiant hero. He had money for the Shadowblade too, didn't buy it before dying. Again, not sure if he's considering something else or if he just didn't manage to use his shot fast enough, but this game is going to get very scary as Ace approaches his Desolator timing. He's level 11. It's going to be a bloodlusted PA with Deso Vlads at 15 minutes into the game. That is a brutal proposition to fight into as Escape. They've got a line that kind of wants to 5-man and take objectives, but just doesn't feel like they're going to be able to do that. If anything, they may just fall back and play the farming game, start stacking Ancients, start trying to get their Luna to her late game items. DK himself, I guess you've got to try and go for some kind of play, and there we go. He'll pick up the Shadowblade, but options are few and far between. They just don't have the best damage. If they want to fight, they have to fight around Eclipse. That's like the majority of their team fight damage output. Rubik and Shadow Demon not supports that do good damage. Clockwork, an offlaner that doesn't pack a punch either. He's gone for the Rocket Flare build as well, not the Battery Assault, which is perhaps a bit more solo kill potential. So we're seeing Trixie in a position where he can set up fights, but what's he setting up for? It's his teammates just don't have the damage to really back him up.
Yeah, it really feels a little bit all over the place at the moment for Escape Gaming.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
The strengths of Imperial's lineup certainly shining through at the moment. We'll take themselves a tower up top. Quakefer with the push at the Elder Dragon form still. Very much formidable. But Imperial ready to move into Roche with the Deso, the Vlads. They're ready to go. Ready to make short work of it, and definitely before Escape Gaming have a chance of even getting a look in on this.
Yeah. And this is where PA often you hit this Deso timing where you're like really strong at dishing out damage, but you're very squishy. But having an Aegis makes up for the fact you can actually fight into the Eclipse, into the DK stun, because you've got this Aegis, because they'll have to use an Eclipse to kill you the first time. And this means you can blink in. Normally, as a PA with Deso, you have to sit around the side and just throw daggers.
Have they got detection? No, they're not prepared for the DK Shadowblade.
Yeah, they've got Dust on Ogre, but he wasn't coming in the front line, so it'll be an escape for Quakefer, but it's not really the kind of reassuring escape. If you're in their position, you're thinking, we want to be trying to take fights. We don't want to be running from fights when we've got this 5-man lineup when you've got the level 2 Eclipse, but realistically, that's their best option now. Drums on Hestejo, so he's gone for the drums and mech. He's gone pure kind of teamfight utility. This is going to be very difficult for Escape to achieve much while Imperial have Aegis on Ace.
Yeah, Imperial building up these auras. They haven't got a pipe. I mean, pipe this game. Do you feel we will see a pipe being built by any of the members of Imperial?
No real need.
No.
Nature's Prophet is probably more likely going to start transitioning into right-click damage. It's like, at some point, you're like, okay, I've got 2 teamfight items. Do I really go for a third? As a Nature's Prophet, at some point, you want to start getting some actual DPS
Down on
items.
the bottom lane, Koifa's on his own, and Imperial have a very good wraparound. They do have Dust, of course, this time with Neuer on the front lines, and Koifa's gone. A couple of crits from Ace, making short work of the DK's armor.
Yep. Nothing
Going
much
for those
to it.
kind of pushes as well. I mean, Koifa all on his own. They did not have eyes on Imperial. It's getting scarier and scarier here for Escape Gaming.
And with the Deso, you get that Maya Sama, your buildings can get pushed a little bit faster. You've got Nature's Prophet doing some all right-click damage. OD may look to join up with the team. It's Baby Knight's actually 0, 0, and 0. As much as we talked about like the difference in his build,
yeah, it's not.
He hasn't fought with it.
No.
Like, let's be real here. We're like, oh, you go this build because you got Bloodlust and you want to fight. He's just used it to farm. The Astral perhaps is a slightly better farming tool, but he wanted to be in a position where if Escape tried to fight into him, he was ready to fight back. So you never really know how the game's going to pan out as a mid laner, and once you decide on a build, like, you're kind of committed to it. So. Yeah.
Picking some creeps up on the way here from the Helm of the Dom.
I'm curious to see if Ace actually goes. BKB is a necessity. It's just a matter of whether you get it next or further down the lines. Escape aren't looking to fight you, so if you want to try and punish them, you could go for more DPS-oriented build and get the BKB later on when they are fighting.
And here's the push down mid. Quick towers for Imperial.
Yep, quick, easy towers, nothing much to it. No defense in sight for Escape. And realistically, the best thing they can do is just try and wait out the Aegis to expire. Stolen Stifling Dagger for Yapso's Rubik, nothing too impressive there. It's not an amazing game for spells as far as things you can steal as a Rubik.
I mean, we saw before how the Astral steal can be nice.
Yeah.
Maybe that was one of the reasons why he didn't steal it early on.
It's
it
quite
stops
possible.
it from being stolen, but he's obviously got it now.
Yep. No, it's got 3 points in it now, so it's like
I
it's
don't
back
know.
up. The
But that
Bloodlust can be alright.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can Bloodlust your Dragon Knight
I
and
guess
your Luna.
line spells are pretty good.
Yeah. No, like, game-changing ones, but all, like, fairly decent, like, fairly okay ones, which he's going to be keeping an eye out for. So we'll see how that works out for him. A lot of Radiant Vision up on the map, something Escape's been very proactive in, keeping eyes, especially in that dire jungle where they've spent time pushing and farming. I say that they lose one of those wards, but all in all, it's been a decent effort.
I'll be interested to see what Hestejo does go for next. As you said, you know, 2.3k gold. Does he just continue into a right-click kind of build now?
Yeah, I want to say he could go for something like a Hurricane Pike again, which we saw last time. Could be handy item against the Clockwork Hook. They've got just the 1 4-staff so far. So definitely see value in getting a second 4-staff against the Clockwork always. Helps against the DK stuns, where if someone gets initiated on, you can kind of push them around and try and save them through that. Yeah, he's got 2.5k gold. Continue to save up. He may be thinking bigger items, more actual damage output type items, or like the Ag Scepter type items. There's so many viable options on Nature's Prophet that the hero is very versatile.
And talk about adding to the auras, you know, the pipe and such. There is a hood now on Neuer, so it looks like he's going to start to build that up for the team. And just make sure that when Imperial want to go for the high ground push, they've got everything ready. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Koifa has been caught out. Hestejo teeping him from the sidelines. He'll be held back momentarily by Cinderan's disruption, but it doesn't matter. They've still got Koifa. Sin tries for the TP out. He's not going to make it. Baby Knight's there with the Astral. And again, they'll pick up 2. Double kill for Baby Knight. 13 for 5. There's a BKB out now as well for Ace. Blink Dagger for Baby Knight's OD.
Oh, it's getting rough, brutal. It's just nothing Escape seem able to do right now. They've just suffered too much in the early game against that Nature's Prophet. It really was just Hestejo's Nature's Prophet. They got the 2 kills initially down bottom, but then Nature's Prophet TPs in and kills Era. And then after that, you see him at top lane getting a kill on Clockwork, and the Luna well, not really a dieback, she didn't buy back, but she respawned from dying, TP'd in top and died again, and since then it just feels like Escape have never had the items they've needed to fight into Imperial. It's been Imperial hitting these item timings where they get the deaths on PA, they immediately take Roshan. They get the Nature's Prophet mech, they start 5-manning, taking down towers. They're just playing with a much clearer strategy in mind and hitting these timings that Escape have no answers for.
I mean, could Escape at this point smoke up and them themselves look to try and pick off Imperial, or are you at the moment just waiting for Imperial to start to go for the high ground pushes so Escape Gaming can take a defense from there?
I think they want to. The Aegis is down, so it really should be go time. You've got Clockwork, who's not going to scale into the late game. Yeah, he's just level 8, but he's got his Blade Mail, so smoke up, Clockwork initiate, DK follow up with a Shadow Blade in. You've got to smoke and make a move at some point if you're Escape. You're losing the game on farm, you're losing all your towers. If you sit back, do nothing, Imperial just secure the next Roshan, and then we'll be fighting and pushing with an Aegis. So I think fighting before that Aegis comes online is your best bet as Escape.
Oh, look at this Ace with an Invis rune. Is he going to go for something cheeky? Backup will be there from Hester Joe.
I just insta-kill Sin.
Oh,
okay, he does.
With the crit, he's gone. Sin's out of the game. Trixie with the Blade Mail. Hook shots out of the cogs onto Neuer. But Neuer just turns with the multicast, landing into the Clockwork. They find themselves a second kill, Imperial, and they're not done yet. They're looking for more. Yapsor TPing out in the tree line. He will make it. There won't be a way to cancel it in time. Era may not be as lucky, and indeed he won't. The Sprouts lay down, giving them vision. They burst down the Luna. And Imperial, with no mercy whatsoever, picking up 3 members of Escape Gaming and giving none of their lives in return.
Yep, pretty easy, straightforward stuff again. Not the most value BKB from Ace, he just BKB to help kill a Clockwork, which is like so-so. Did mean that he couldn't get bursted down, but and ultimately without an Aegis, he wants to make sure he doesn't die at this point at all costs. He's 6-0-4. He's the top net worth hero. Death on Ace would be not necessarily a comeback right in itself, but it's the kind of way Escape get back into the game is by killing these high value heroes like the OD, like the PA. So making sure he stays alive in these fights at all costs. Definitely the right approach, and Imperial probably just going to keep these lanes pushed out, eye off the next Roshan. It's coming up anytime in the next 3 minutes. Could be very soon if they're lucky. And that's something which Escape will really struggle to try and contest. They've got decent ward vision up on the map for now, but even so, Imperial are just so strong if they try and fight into them.
Yeah, I'm looking at Hester Joe, and he's going to have a pre-30-minute Hex on this Nature's Prophet, which is going to be even more nightmarish for the side of Escape Gaming to have to deal with. Blink Dagger on Lion. Everything seems to be coming together for them. I mean, is this... What do you think it was that kind of set Escape back as much as they have been at the start? Was it the Nature's Prophet pick? Is it just something that teams don't know how to deal with anymore?
Yeah, I mean, the pick itself wasn't like an amazing game-winning pick by itself. It's been the play and the lack of reaction from Escape. Like the way they fed Era up top lane when after respawning, he TP'd and died. The way bottom lane they gave kills.
They jumped in and catch him again.
Being just Hester Joe catching people by surprise. It's kind of like you play against an Io. If you don't play against Io for a while, you forget how the relocate ganks work. You can't farm a lane by yourself against relocate. It's a very similar concept against Nature's Prophet. We're seeing these heroes kind of go in alone, try and defend towers alone, and Nature's Prophet TP's in behind with treants and you're dead.
And mid lane, immediately and again, blocking off Era. And it's just impeccable play, and to the point where I'm starting to wonder if teams, when they play against Imperial, they may just ban out the Nature's Prophet.
Consideration, yeah.
You know, we saw it work well with the Drow, and it was like, okay, he's got the Drow aura. And now they're saying, well, we'll pick it even when we're not using a Drow.
Yeah. I think there's definitely been some mistakes from the Escape side. Like, they actually managed to initially win the bottom lane, and then Era just stuck around on no HP and died. Plays like that really set them back, but ultimately, Imperial are just playing a fantastic game right now.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he's been a okay party. He's got the Ghost Step to keep him alive. Ace jumps in and crits down Cinder, and quite fits the Dragon Tail onto Baby Knight, but Ace just chucking the daggers, forcing Yapsor back to base. Baby Knight just goes in with the Sanities. Koifer's going to drop as well. They do lose Baby Knight, though. He does end up feeding his life away in the base of Escape Gaming. Up top, Trixie getting jumped on by Ace, and the Imperial still make sure they do get the better trade. But they did lose the OD. That's a big kill to go down. But I guess at the same time, I don't think he was actually on that big of a streak, was he?
No, he was just a killing spree.
Yeah,
didn't have a massive streak by any means, but the net worth definitely made him give a good chunk of gold, but ultimately not really enough.
Not as much as Escape Gaming need at this stage.
Yep. That's absolutely the problem here. We'll see Imperial chip away this tier 3 tower. Doesn't look like they're going to actually be able to break it down now. They back off, respecting the Lunar Eclipse.
They want to get Roche.
And yep, that's exactly what they want to go get. They're already pinging it out. They're headed straight there. And we'll see another Aegis in their hands. Level 16 PA.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Good luck, Escape. Good luck. They've smoked up. They're immediately going to head towards Roche, but
It's
PA
ambitious.
kills it very fast.
Yep.
I don't think they get here in time, and then fighting after Roche goes down is going to be a problem in itself. I say that
He
Ace
may
is
have
for
a
now
chance,
on his own, yeah.
They've got the hook shot. They've
Odie
got
gets
the
in there.
Eclipse.
They're going to go so fast.
It feels like they need to go for something because
Yep.
they can't afford to have to put up a defense against the lineup with the Aegis. Trixie going in on the front lines, he'll be held back, and that's given Imperial the chance to finish off Roche, grab the Aegis. A nice stun onto 2 for the sideline. Hurricane Pike forcing them back. Hex, it's going to bring them down. Quakefor's out of this. They just call it GG. A lost fight at the pit. That was the last chance for Escape Gaming to try and get themselves back into this one. But at the end of the day, it really feels like nothing less than just straight out play and very much borderline stomp there from Imperial.
Yeah. We talked a lot about Hestejo's Nature's Prophet in his rotations. Ogre as well, the other big kind of player. Noya made a lot of great moves. He's the other player who put on tons of early game pressure. Even that ending play, that Roche fight there, he was positioned perfectly to stop any kind of clockwork hook shot coming in. So he knew the one way that goes badly, if Clock gets a hook, you lose the Aegis for whatever reason, they come in, take a fight, and things go south. So he's just positioned there, body blocking in the river, making sure there was no possible line. He didn't even care if he dies there to a 5-man smoke game, because once PA has an Aegis, that fight's in the bag. So very good stuff, very strong performance from Imperial. They just played really nicely together, gave Ace free farm. Hestejo and Noya, just the early game stars though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Hestejo moving around the map again, as we saw on the stats. We've seen him do it once before at DreamLeague, and it was crazy good. And again, crazy good. Didn't have the Drow Aura. He didn't need it. It was just the presence of mind, being in the places where, as we saw, Escape Gaming, they just didn't expect him. We saw Era teeping into locations where, yeah, 9 out of 10 games, he's fine to go there, but suddenly you forget you're playing against a Nature's Prophet. He'll just join the fight, turn it, and make sure that Imperial have the numbers advantage, and it's just too much for Escape Gaming.
Yeah. He was in the majority. He's in 22 of the 25 kills, and that really says it all there. Noya, close second. He was in 18 of the kills. So those two players just really setting the tempo, and also just all around a strong draft. There was very clear ideas of what they were looking to do. Felt like Baby Knight wasn't really too involved, but didn't need to be. Like the way the other two lanes were going was that Baby Knight could just farm, and he was kind of the backup plan should the game go into the late game.
Absolutely. Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 to be taken by Imperial quite confidently indeed. We'll see if Escape Gaming is able to step it back up in Game 2, which is going to be right around the corner here at the ASUS ROG DreamLeague, so don't go anywhere. We're going to have a short ad break, back to the panel, and then back to us. We'll see you in a bit for more Escape Gaming versus the Imperial.